The best that Kevin McCarthy was willing to do with Representative Marjorie Greene, who used to be on committees but isn't anymore, that's awesome, was to have a little talk with her and supposedly ask her to apologize after all that she did. And it turns out that is exactly his approach to Liz Cheney, who doesn't believe any of the Q stuff, but she just voted for Trump to be impeached. This is according to Axios, who says Kevin McCarthy tried to get Liz Cheney to apologize for how she handled her vote to impeach former President Trump before last week's highly anticipated House GOP conference meeting, a request she refused, apparently. McCarthy, who hesitated in the first place about holding a vote to oust Cheney, told her privately hours before the caucus meeting that their members wanted to hear she was sorry. He also suggested it could sway some of her opponents. Cheney's team, though, did a whip count, and she was confident she'd secure at least 142 votes, which she did. I just love the idea that they just want to hear that you're sorry for the thing you did. How juvenile of a way to approach this. But this is all Kevin McCarthy's got, is private behind the scenes conversations asking, please just make this go away. I don't want to have to exercise any sort of actual leadership or like choice or anything. Just say you're sorry and let this go on. Let us move on from this. It's sort of sad.
Wait a minute, to kick her out of the which caucus, of the Freedom Caucus, or
no? They were going to kick her out of leadership.
Just leadership generally.
Yeah. Of this and Girl Scouts.
How does it smell?
No,
I just want to know, how does it smell?
I don't want you to.
How does it smell to be that far up?
No.
Donald Trump's crack. No. Seriously.
It was
seriously, and how do you get farther? How do you actually wedge your whole face that far up the former president's crack? Like really though, you're so far up there that you need to get, you're wedging. You're just wedging.
Francesca, it
how
depends on the resources you have. There's a very real fear of slipping out. So they have those little spikes that you can hammer in. You're gonna want to tie off every once in a while and use the buddy system. There are buddies in there, and I'm gonna puke. Anyway, yeah, no, it's partly that. He's afraid of it. He's afraid of Trump. He's afraid of Trump fans. He's afraid of Marjorie Greene. He's afraid of QAnon fans. Who is Kevin McCarthy not afraid of right now, honestly?
Yeah, he's afraid of his own shadow. He's afraid of standing up for literally anything. I love when like your so-called leadership has no idea what they're doing. Like these are the limitations of like bipartisanship or getting along or whatever. It's like you're in Washington for so long, your brain just becomes like sort of mushy, go along to get along, and you don't stand for anything anymore. And he doesn't even know what he stands for. And it's a good moment because he doesn't even know what the Republican Party stands for. So it's almost like you don't really blame him because the Republican Party is like, well, we didn't have a plan after Trump. But what we know is that once again, no matter what, no matter how loyal you are, no matter how far you wedge yourself up there, it will always be at some point or another, insert your name, chanted by a mob trying to overturn an election or shouting you down, because there's nothing you can do to be loyalist. There's nothing you can do you just can't. You can't. Yeah. So anyway.
You're always just hanging in there. Yeah. But he'll shake you loose at some point.
You are a dingleberry. All these little dingleberries hanging off of Trump. And they think that they're a real person. They think no, you're a dingleberry, and he can cut you loose whenever he wants.
And then you'll just be stuck on a piece of paper to his shoe. Sometimes I think that participating will make it less bad for me, but it never actually works. Now Cheney is not backing down on this, saying people have been lied to. President Trump for months leading up to January 6th spread the notion that the election had been stolen, and people need to understand that. But bear in mind, the other side isn't really backing down either. The Wyoming Republican Party voted Saturday to censure her over the Trump impeachment vote. And I guarantee everyone, at least 95% of those who voted to censure her, believe that the single greatest threat facing America right now is cancel culture.
Oh, yeah.
But they censured her for daring to turn against their god emperor. Anyway, Liz Cheney, I'm perfectly happy to, in the very near future, move on from any defense of Liz Cheney. But in this particular case, the people opposing her are worse.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.